Data everywhere. How can organisations prevent information leaks and inadvertent disclosure? We are living in a digital era in which information has become the most prized asset for many organisations. Today, organisations would experience more severe consequences if data were lost or compromised. The loss of intellectual property, such as customer details, can harm a business's reputation, weaken its image, or threaten its competitive edge. The aim of this presentation is to teach organisations the numerous ways that they are liable to information leaks and advise them on the measures to take to prevent these breaches of data security. Social engineering is the art of gaining entry to building systems or information by taking advantage of human psychology as opposed to physically breaking in or using technical hacking methods. For example, rather than attempting to discover software vulnerability in a system, a social engineer might contact an employee and pretend to be an IT support technician in an attempt to con the worker into disclosing password details. Social engineers are confident, convincing, and dominate the conversations. Online, many social engineers exploit human characteristics of fear and curiosity. Employees often operate applications that are not authorized by the business on the business networks, which expose sensitive corporate data and records to greater levels of risk. These programs include private email, online banking, online bill paying, and social media. These programs create a high-risk opportunity for data being lost or stolen because they are often not monitored and do not adhere to corporate security guidelines. There is also increased danger of infection of malicious software when using such applications. Logging out of a computer system when not using it is one of the most basic computer security procedures. However, according to Cisco report, 1 in 3 employees said they leave their computers logged on and unlocked when they are away from the desk, such as on tea breaks, and 1 in 5 workers save system login data and passwords on their computer or write information down and leave the information unsecure on their tables, unlocked tablets, or posted on their computers. Ignoring such basic security principles invites threats and attackers. Many employees knowingly use corporate computers in a manner that deviate from computer security protocols. For example, modifying security settings and circulating work devices and sensitive information such as passwords to people outside of the business. Employees modify settings for reasons such as downloading music, gain access to banned websites such as Facebook or online gambling sites. Roughly a quarter of workers that were questioned admitted sharing sensitive information with friends and family, and have admitted to sharing work devices with people external to organisation without keeping an eye on them. Remote worker security. Practices such as sending files from a work device to a personal computer that is not safeguarded or maintained to IT standards, using personal communications that are not as secure as corporate communications, discussing sensitive corporate issues where others can eavesdrop into the conversation, and failing to use a laptop privacy card when working remotely in a public place, all increase the potential for the theft of data. Dumpster diving can be a big threat to many companies who don't properly dispose of their rubbish. Documents and other pieces of valuable information by employees can be thrown into the bin without realising the significance if that information was obtained by an outside source. 3 future trends of data leakage identified was the increased popularity of smartphones, working with the cloud, and metadata. Many of the smartphones have the same access to data as desktop computers. However, desktop computers are normally situated in the company itself, while mobile devices can be brought home or to other destinations. Now, smartphones are able to store and view information such as spreadsheet documents and diagrams. Extending a data protection program to the cloud would be the biggest challenge in the future. Many companies are changing over to storing their information in the cloud. Being able to regulate and have sufficient protection for the data is going to be a big challenge. Data is being stored in the cloud, therefore will be able to be accessed from anywhere with the right credentials. If an employee was logged into a company Dropbox account, for instance, and they somehow managed to lose their mobile phone, this would cause a huge problem if the company phone ends up in the hands of a person who takes advantage of the information stored. Another emerging trend that has to do with inadvertent disclosure is metadata. It is embedded information that can be encoded in electronic documents. It can contain comments and other documents. Once a document is ready for sending, the metadata should be scrubbed off this information, which means remove this information. But sometimes this does not always happen, which can lead to inadvertent disclosures. Preventing data leakages. A lot of organisations err by focusing on technology at the start. However, the best security software on the planet won't provide a solid return on investment without a solid platform of security procedures, protocols, and training. Rather, organisations should begin by assessing employee behaviour and the related threats according to the factors such as the local and threat landscape. It is at this point that threat training, security education and business processes can be built around that intelligence. It is then that apt investment in security software can be made. Know your data and manage it well, such as establishing the types of information that need a specific protection mechanism within and beyond your company's boundaries. Educate workers of the importance of corporate data. Data lost or stolen will most likely be used to damage your business's brand, revenue, stock price and trust in the market. Cultivate an atmosphere of openness and trust. Staff must be comfortable with the corporate security landscape so as to perform security procedures correctly. Building an awareness of security threats is critical to gaining employee backing. Staff that believe in the importance of security programs are more likely to adhere to specific security standards. Appeal to private lives. Staff that practice good security techniques at home are most likely to transfer these good practices into the workplace. And make the message visible. Place posters that are eye-catching and that can get a message across on fax machines, shred bins and canteens.